Yeah. Hustlers right here. Hustlers right here. Yeah. Don't doubt me. Talk to him. My creator created me, mastermind. Today I had a very good back and forth a conversation with a young man that I've been following for a while. And we have been exchanging comments, and I share, repost some of his content. And he reached out to me, and he felt the need to send me a copy of some of my legal documents where it speaks to where I cooperated in my federal investigation. Like, I haven't been honest about that on my platform. You can go back and look at my videos. I openly admit that I cooperated. I don't hide that. I'm not coming on here looking to be liked or because we had an exchange about it. And I said, yeah, I looked at it, I said, that's true. I said, but paperwork doesn't tell the whole story. We have this belief in our culture that if a man has been compromised in some way, that he no longer has an opinion, he's not entitled to speak, that no one should allow him to speak or give him a voice. And I think we do that to our detriment. Nobody sometimes can give a better perspective of somebody who's been there, who's been through something and can kind of articulate different experiences. And we lack that in our community. We are so fixed-minded and so attached to this group think, like that we lack independent thought. We don't have people who can challenge the conventional wisdom. We just got a bunch of people who go along, even when they inherently don't agree, because they want social acceptance. They need acceptance. That's something I never needed nor desired, was acceptance. Only thing I ever needed was desired is my money. That's it. But this young man proceeded to make his, stake his claim. He's a solid guy. He only respects solid guys. There's no way that he could ever socialize or associate with anybody who's been compromised or who cooperated. And I get it and I respect it. I'm not even like challenging that or even saying there's anything wrong with it, man. I respect the man that stands on his principles. But make sure they're your principles. Too often, man, in this society, and I know I'm pretty critical of the critics, the people who come on here and try to paint themselves as the pillar of righteousness and downplay other men and their failures. And I think it's unfortunate and it's counterproductive. It doesn't help us. It doesn't serve us. But why are men scared to talk to men who been compromised, who fail, why shouldn't they have a voice? I'm curious. Because I think what it does is it challenges their core beliefs. And when you challenge a man's core belief, something he thinks he believes or he inherently believes, it creates a dysfunction. I went on to admit to this young man that I made some poor choices, that I made some mistakes. That in no way am I saying my choice to cooperate wasn't wrong. But I still to this day believe it was the best choice. And I kind of explained some nuances to him about my cases, that there were a lot of innocent people who got wrapped up in my case, and I couldn't sit back and let those people get caught up in that. So I had to step up. And in the process of that, I compromised myself, and I own it. I knew what I was doing, and I was prepared to accept what comes with it. I'm fine with that. I'm no longer a part of the real nigga club. I'm okay with that. Very okay with that. And he went on to make the argument that the only reason I feel this way and rationalize it is because, of course, I cooperated. And I said, that's unfortunate, because as a man who's been in the streets since 1985, who was, I think, actually before this young man was even born, I was in the streets. I have a deep appreciation for the code. I have a deep appreciation for those things that men held other men to. I had a very deep appreciation because I was taught it in my household. I wasn't just taught it, out in the streets trying to be cool. I was taught those principles, and they were principles at that time that meant a lot. But I also told him, explained to him that we make these decisions and make these commitments to things as children. As children. And we get involved and make these things as make these commitments as children. But we still live with them as men. When I got my first taste of the streets, I probably was about 12, 13 years old. The first drugs I ever sold, my mother gave me. She gave me an 8-ball of crack. And she told me, say, you get caught, keep your mouth shut. I'll be to get you. This is 1985. I get it. Nobody likes a snitch. But like I explained to this young man, there's a lot of nuances to this stuff. Especially when you talk about conspiracy cases. It gets real messy, real complicated. A lot of conflict of interest. And it was left at my feet to make sure people made it home who didn't deserve to really even do any time. And I'm okay with that. But what I'm not okay with is the people who try to judge me for my search for redemption and to just assume that I don't deserve redemption. Those are the people I kind of have a problem with. I challenge anybody to a debate. I challenge anybody who will take this challenge to a debate on the merits of street culture. Anybody, care who you is. I challenge anybody to a debate on the merits of street culture. Just tap in. I bet you. You don't want to see me. There's a lot of people who don't understand me and don't understand how I love. See, I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer and I'm a builder. I picture things in my visions and then I build the systems to make them real. That is my way of showing love. That is my love language. I want to help people I love build extraordinary lives for themselves. But it demands that they be willing to grind and sacrifice. And most importantly, trust me. And if they don't, it registers as a complete rejection of my love. That's my love language, helping people. For the record, I wasn't trying to change your mind. I just wanted to help you see another perspective. We can't be so committed to one perspective when we live in a nuanced world. Just a little advice. One thing about it, young man, that piece of paper or document don't tell my story. It can't tell my story. History will be my judge, young man. And I like your commitment to what you believe. But when you believe something so inherently, so deeply, it should be something that serves your best interests. And I don't believe that's the case and hasn't ever been the case. But I appreciate respectful disagreement. Salute you, still support you.